Okay, we got the NASDAQ 100, NAS100. This index is pretty interesting now. So I actually figured this out. I figured it would break this area and keep going up to about 15.3, and it's exactly what it did. Came up to this area. I don't remember when I drew this out. I think it's been like a week, to be honest. But yeah, it came back up. I didn't expect this much bull momentum into it, the zone, and I did not expect this bearish candle to come out of it. But I mean, it is a bearish engulfing candle nonetheless. Took out this 15,000 mark, and then you have today's candle, which came in, retested 15,000 pretty much on the dot, and is now pulling back, and is most likely heading lower. So I'm going to clean these lines up here, figure out what we're looking at. The monthly range is about 1,300 points. So if this is the high for the month, which roughly this is the first of the month right here, so 15.8 really was the high, and then our low for the month is 14.5 down here. Like, it's kind of where that is where it's projected. Once this starts breaking lower, like it might start moving quite a bit more. But I mean, as far as right now, this 15,000 zone is going to be really significant at holding price, you know, below. So I do think this is going to keep heading lower. As far as an entry, I mean, this is, I hate trading the NAS because, like, the volatility. So like, there was no reason for this massive candle, and then, you know, this next candle, boom, all the way down. Like, it's just, that sucks when that happens, because it's so much movement in such a small amount of time. That's really unnecessary. Like, did it really need to move up? You know, did it really need to jump up like this just to come back down the next day? You know, but whatever. So this $15,000 mark's huge. I'm going to delete this zone for now. We'll just extend this price area because I like it. I think the 15,000 mark is huge. So we'll keep that in mind as far as resistance to the upside. You can see this nice candle just touched it today and is now sold off completely. So price is below this 4-hour moving average. It's not below the daily yet. It's going to take a while for it to be below the daily, but to finish off the month, I do think it's going to hit 14.5, and right now it is creating a bit of a resistance zone right here, right at about 14, yeah, a little bit below 14.8, maybe 14.750 kind of. You can see price came through here a couple times already. I'll mark this in here. So 14.750, 14.750. We'll just mark this right now. It is Friday, so I'm not taking any trades on this, but you can see it's rejecting at the 15,000. It's rejecting at 14.750, so it doesn't really know what it wants to do yet. But yeah, price is below this moving average, so I do think that is going to continue bearish. Oh, we got an alert. This is something to keep in mind, this little segment here. You can see price did actually break this 618 retracement with this section here. So I do think that it's not just a pullback. This little chunk of price here, I don't think it's a pullback. I think it actually is bearish, and I do think that this is the new lower high kind of thing. So now what we're looking for is something like this to take place, something like this. Perhaps we already got the second high, maybe, and then something like this. So lower highs, lower lows, that's what we're looking for to take place. This will be probably something I look at next week, and we do have 4 more trading days left in the month to get us to 14.5 here. So I'd be looking for price to break this area here and then setting a position here. But I mean, if you're just shooting for the monthly range, which is only down to 14,500 here, I mean, there's not a whole lot of reward in this. Personally, like, your risk to reward is not good. It's not even 2. So I think, but I do think this is setting up real well. So like, you have this nice bearish segment, pushes up, rejects this 15,000 zone. There's actually a little area. I love the 1-hour time frame too. It really tells you a lot. But you can see this actually created a low. So this was the previous liquidity zone. You can see where these wicks were, and now it's actually created a lower one down here. This is as high as price was able to close on the 1 hour. And then you have this huge bearish engulfing candle down into this 14.750 zone, and actually took out the low here. So you got your lower lows, lower highs here on the 1 hour already. Price is below the 1 hour moving average, so this is quite bearish. on the smaller time frame. So I like that. I think it is going to push below 14,750 here and keep heading down to 14.5. But then, I mean, as far as the month goes, that's pretty much the normal range. So after 14.5, we don't really know kind of where it could head to. I think if we look at this this daily segment here, you can see there's an area here right around 14,200. It's the bottom. 14,300 is the top. So I think if it breaks 14.5, that's where it's headed next. But as far as the monthly goes, I mean 14.5 is our range, so I'm not really hopeful for anything lower than 14.5 to end the month. So this will be kind of a September play. Would be back into 14.3 here. Might be something like this. After price breaks 14.750, might be something like this into September. Something like this. But again, price does move about 1,300 points per month on the NAS here. So I mean, if let's say 14, let's say it does hit 14.5 to end the month, and then next month it opens around 14,500 or 14,600. You have 100 or you have 1,300 points downwards. So if 14.6 is the high, let's say potentially, I mean, you're good to go all the way down to, you know, here. So around like 13.3. So that is this is all theoretical. If that's what happens, if that's what price does, you know, if it ends the month at about 14.5, pulls back up, let's say, I'll just draw this all out and we can see later on. We'll check back on this in a few weeks and we'll see how right I am. But you know, if price breaks this area to end the month and then retests this this area here, you can see these wicks here. Let's say it retests here, and then you enter your position down and you shoot for the monthly range, which is about 1,300 points. I mean, that puts you at about this area here, so around 13.3. So that could be next month's play leading into it. Depends on a ton of things, obviously. If the stock market just starts selling off, we're going into weird economic times again, so that is very possible. Plus the US dollar is pushing up, which will bring this down as well. And then if you look at how this monthly is closing, you got a nice bearish engulfing month. So that's huge. I haven't had one of those in a long time. So I think that's really going to set the pace for next month. And I think 13.3 for next month is not that crazy. And like I said earlier, once this breaks lower lows, I mean, 1,300 points is the monthly range, but it's not crazy for it to do double that if we get a really big sell-off month and just a lot of momentum. Once price starts going lower and lower, people get scared and they just dump their positions, and then it really falls. So it falls much quicker than it goes up, I've learned, with these stock indexes. So, and I mean, that's kind of with everything in life. Once things start losing value quickly, people panic and they just dump it, and then it brings the value down even quicker. So that is what I'm waiting for on NAS100. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. I'd love to answer them, and see your take on the NAS100 as well. So let me know what you're thinking.